Welcome back to Different by Default. This is the season finale.
Let's go.
How y'all doing out there? My name's Rev.
My name's Kay. You can call me whatever. What's up?
My name is Jumba.
Dan.
Oh, Herb.
And
At this point, y'all should know it.
yeah, y'all should know us by now, man. Y'all should know.
Flamboyancy. That's the word. You already know.
So for the season finale, we got a real special guest. Y'all didn't even know he's gonna be here today, did y'all? We got Polo in the building.
What's up, man? What's up, guys?
What's going on,
What's
man?
up?
All right. So Polo, tell them about yourself a little bit before we start.
Just Polo. I'm a real simple guy. Cairo's cousin. Obviously, you guys know that. I mean, what do you?
What more to say? You know, I'm just Polo.
What does Polo do?
All right. So
What do I do? Okay. So like my profession. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So I work at University Hospital. I'm an X-ray tech.
Oh,
Yeah.
tough.
So I just graduated actually last year, and I started working at University Hospital. I went to school for 2 years to become an X-ray tech. So yeah, that's.
How was medical school? Like going through that whole.
Well, I mean, it's not medical school.
Oh, I didn't know.
No, it's not medical
He
school.
got
No,
his
it's
little.
cool.
He got his thing and got out.
No.
He had to be there for the whole time. All right?
Word, 'cause I
No,
be hearing
even though I
some-
was considering medical school, to be honest with you, but no, it's not medical school. Basically, I went to Essex County. I went to Essex County for 2 years. It's like an accelerated program. I don't know if you guys know about accelerated programs. So-
Kind of. I know there's some, like, depending on what you do, there's actually a faster process.
Yeah, exactly. So it's basically like a regular program. It probably would have been maybe 3-4 years.
And COVID made it even better.
Yeah, but we'll get to that. I'll get to that part, yeah. But basically, it probably would have been 3 or 4 years if it was a stretched out program. But accelerated, it cut it down to 2 years. But it's so condensed that, they throw so much information at you, so much work at you. It's like you really have to buckle down. When I was in school, there was a point, I'd probably say maybe the second semester or the third semester, where I kind of disappeared from, like I had no social life. I disappeared from everybody, and I was just studying all the time. The only thing I was doing besides studying was just music at church, practicing. But besides that, I was just studying all the time. Even my girl wasn't even hearing from me, and she would be like, "Oh, I don't hear from you. Where you at?"
I'm busy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, well, I should say my girl at the time, because she's my wife now. I'm married.
Married
But,
man,
yeah.
married.
Big flex.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, it was tough. I really had to buckle down and really had to focus, really had to study a lot. But it was worth it because at the end, getting paid. So, but at that same time, it's not just about that. It's just about, finding something that you like doing. So a profession and be able to do it every day. When they say you find something you love, you never work a day in your life. When I first got into the program, I wasn't really sure what to expect because I have another cousin, Mark, who is CAT scan. He does CAT scan, but he started with X-ray. And he was telling me about it. And at first, I wasn't really sure because I had went to school before that. And I went to William Patterson, and I graduated with a bachelor's. So it was kind of a backtrack for me. I wasn't sure what I wanted to do. I wasn't sure where I wanted to, go as far as profession and life and stuff like that. And when I brought up the suggestion, when I first heard about it from Mark, and I brought up the suggestion to my parents, Haitian parents. How many of you guys? I know you're Haitian. How many? The rest of you?
you're Haitian. I consider myself Haitian by affiliation. I'm around them enough to understand.
That's just about
I'm around them enough to
Okay.
understand.
Well, Haitian parents, they're all about, success, doing what you got to do, doctors, lawyers. That's all they see. They don't see anything else. But luckily, my parents, they came at an early age, so they're more progressive in that sense. So I told them about it, but still they went back and said, you doing what? Like, are you crazy?
Still
Like,
questioning you.
you got your bachelor's. What do you mean you're going back to? But you know, it was just me trying to figure out what I wanted to do, where I wanted to go as far as professionally with my life. I didn't just want to go back to school because and do something because somebody told me to do it. I didn't want to just get my master's because he said, "Oh, go get your master's. That's the next step. That's what you're supposed to do." You know what I mean? It was just about finding something that I would enjoy doing for myself, something I found fulfilling. Because when I graduated from William-Patterson, and I graduated from William-Patterson with a business degree, and it doesn't bother you that I just keep looking at that. I'm trying to look at
No, you
because they're in front of me. So and this is a first for me. So I'm trying to, yeah.
And we do it all the time. We just look.
Yeah, so don't feel left out. I know they pick on you a lot. I know, don't feel left out. I'm not trying to pick on you too.
You just don't want to turn his head like that, all right?
But yeah, so when I graduated with a business degree, naturally I started to look for a corporate job. And when I got a corporate job, I worked at Bed Bath & Beyond corporate. It was boring. I just come to work every day, just sit in a cubicle and punch numbers.
Oh, not the box.
Yeah, man.
Not
It
the
was
cube.
I was like, man, I gotta get the heck out of here. I did it for 2 years. And the reason I did it for that long even was because after the first year, I was like, man, this is not for me. So I had to try to figure out something else. That's when the x-ray came up. And then I said, I figured out how I was going to do it, go to Essex County. I could have did it at a 4-year school, but it would have been more expensive. By this time, I'm already living on my own. I'm living in an apartment with my cousin. I'm not living at my parents' house anymore. So there's no really, making just any move without knowing I have bills and stuff, you know what I mean? Rent and, stuff like that. So I just made set a goal for myself. I stayed at the apartment. I stayed at that job. And I just saved money, man. I just kept saving until I know I had a good amount of money. And then once I did, I saw the program was coming. I went back to school to get my prerequisites. And after that, I quit the job. I got accepted into the program. And that was it. From there, I just kept going.
Look at that. We got Polo saying, we just asking Polo about Polo. He just said Polo.
Yeah.
So, might as well just start off with the first question then. So how is it working in the hospital, with this whole COVID stuff?
Yeah, I mean, I looked over the questions real quick when you sent them last night, and I saw that question. I was like, there's not really much that I could say because I came into the medical world right when COVID was still going on, but it wasn't like the bad era of it.
Oh,
you know,
so
the bad.
it was like July.
Yeah, I was. No, I got accepted. I got the job in October. So by that time, COVID was kind of dying down. You know what I mean? It was just like, it wasn't the point where people were dying left and right, bodies everywhere. You know what I mean? Like you would hear on the news. I'm sure you would hear from other people, but it didn't stop my coworkers from telling me what was going on. You know what I mean? So I could tell you what my coworkers were telling me, basically that, it was pretty bad, especially for a university hospital, because it's a trauma 1 hospital. So, they get everything. And it's, I think it's the biggest state hospital or the biggest hospital in the state, I think. Don't quote me on that one, but
She's gonna come up and be like,
yeah, like what you talking about? But yeah, they were just telling me that it was pretty bad. There was, like I said, there were so many people dying left and right. There were bodies in the hallway. Transporters were complaining that there's so many bodies everywhere in the hallways, in bags, in rooms. You know what I mean? One of my coworkers, she told me that there was a lady that they would go every other week or every week. They would go and take an x-ray of her chest. And one day she went and saw her and took an x-ray. And then after she left, she would hear from on the outside of her room, her talking to her family saying, I'm okay, fine, and everything. I'm doing good. They just been doing a bunch of tests. Thank God I'm not on a ventilator or anything like that. And I think she said a few days later she went back, and then they. Oh man, very unprofessional, man. Come on, man.
I'm not gonna lie, my fault.
No, I'm messing with you. But yeah, she basically was saying that a few days later she went and saw her again to take a chest X-ray, and she was flipped over actually on a ventilator. And usually when patients are on a ventilator and then they flip them over on their stomach, because most people are laying on their back when they're in a stretcher, right? So she was flipped on her stomach and on a ventilator. So most of the time that means it's not looking good, you know what I mean? But it was just crazy how a few days before that she was perfectly fine talking to her family. And then a few days after that, she's flipped over on her stomach and on a ventilator. And then I believe a week or so after that, regretfully, she passed away. But, it was just to show you how serious it was. You know what I mean? It was how crazy it was. And, that was just one of many stories that I would hear about what was going on around that time.
So, I can add on because I worked in the nursing home as I guess you could call it behavioral aid. The more I look at it, I guess we got to censor this out. I don't know what I actually show this. But, yeah, I was there when COVID got there. And what made it worse was my building actually had, flu. So the flu was already spreading. So we was already under quarantine. Everybody was forced to be in their rooms and everything. And then COVID came. And one story that I got to say is a resident of mine, was cool with him. One of my favorite residents, he had a stroke during the flu. So he came back, and he came back around April, and that's when COVID started to hit. And he already had a stroke. He was already on he used to be walking around, talking, everything. He went from that to just being on his bed. He couldn't move. I used to come by, see him, everything, and then every single time I heard the CNAs just say he just declined, and then it just went to the point he just died. And I know a lot of residents, I remember a lot of faces that's not with me anymore, and some of the residents that I actually, had to work with, you actually become cool with them. It's not that the job, it doesn't become a job anymore. It actually becomes just regular talking to people.
I agree with
so yeah, COVID definitely hit hard for me.
Well, I got a question for Polo. Since you said you joined later in October, right? COVID was still there, so how was it still being there, even though it wasn't as dominant and people were dropping? It was still there. How was that?
So basically, what could I say? I mean, I still see COVID patients. Basically, I would see them when they would put me on portables. So portables, basically portable x-rays, when there's an x-ray machine that you could drive around the hospital, and you basically go to each patient's room where they have...
I've seen you before.
Yeah.
Well, not your building, but...
Well, yeah. Well, yeah, but... Yeah, so they would send me around the hospital to take x-rays of patients' chests who had COVID. And some of them, they would be in bad shape, gasping for air, laying there, and they can't really move like that. They're just trying to breathe. Before I could walk in the room, I would have to put a whole gown on. I have 3 masks on, cap on my head, just really protecting myself. And then once I would go in there, I would just set up, take the x-ray, and when I go in there, I'm trying to go in and out. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to stay in there too long.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Be cautious.
Yeah, definitely. I will go in there, take the x-ray, and as soon as I get out, I just strip down all the gown and the mask I put on, wash my hands, wash all the way up to my elbows. Man, I would wash my face if I could. You know what I mean? As soon as I get out of there, because, you're so paranoid. Everybody's so paranoid. But, yeah, that's pretty much how it's been. When patients would come down to the department to get x-rays, basically I would have to read the paper first before I would know. Sometimes I would almost go and do a patient's X-ray without reading the paper, and then my coworker would stop me. Look at the paper. I'm like, oh shoot, like you know what I mean. I almost, you know what I mean. So you have to really be cautious with that. But that pretty much is basically how it is now. Back then, I'm sure it was crazier than that. But that's pretty much how it is for me now. Yeah.
So we already talking about like you being cautious about COVID and stuff. Like you got like a big fear that COVID has given you.
Yeah, I mean, the same fear is given everybody. Like, you know what I mean? Just being scared to get it. And by the way, I think I did have it. But
Same.
I think pretty much everybody
I
felt like
think
they
I
had
got
it.
a
I got
little
checked. I had the antibodies for it, but
Yeah, that means you had it.
yeah. And I didn't even know. I was just chilling.
Yeah, exactly. My wife, same
Caught it
thing.
around like late February, mid March.
Yeah, in the early
just when it was
stages.
just coming out.
Yeah,
and they was really
yeah.
trying to just play it off.
But
Like,
did
yeah,
you guys get tested and say,
Yeah.
okay, you
Yeah,
got it?
I get weekly tests now.
No, but I'm saying at the time, did you get tested and
No,
they
I
said
didn't
positive?
even know. I didn't even know. That's the craziest thing. Like it happened early March. I probably had COVID.
Yeah,
Oh,
most people
okay.
thought they were
I had
just
an
like
anti-
sick.
Yeah,
But it's
yeah.
just like,
I got
you
the
had it.
antibody test like months ago, and like throughout that whole time of me getting tested, I
Right.
never had
The
COVID.
first time I got tested, they kept trying to say, "Oh no, it's not the flu,
Yeah.
and it's not COVID." All right, so what is it? Oh, it's just viral.
That's not anything.
So
It
I'm
could
like,
They was
so
playing with your
basically,
life.
yeah,
be,
like.
yeah,
Trying to play with you.
paying with your life.
I don't think I got it. I just like I did feel like symptoms though, because
Yeah.
there'd be like days I quarantined.
That's what I'm saying. Like
Like-
loss of taste, loss of smell.
I didn't have.
I never got
I didn't get
sick
none of
like
that.
that
I
before.
didn't-
So I'm saying, what the heck is this?
I know
There
people
was-
to this day that still can't taste and smell.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Like, there was like one day I was just chilling. I'm like, Dad, I got a headache.
Yeah.
And I went in the I threw up or something. I'm like, yo, like,
Yeah,
do I got COVID? And
Yeah.
I'm just like, I'm looking it up like,
Yeah.
like what's symptoms?
Yeah, I felt the
Any
same
little
way.
thing, it was just, you got COVID?
yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
it's just a regular headache. Man,
Oh.
You know, my mom over here bugging like, oh, Cairo, you okay? I'm like, I'm fine. I
Yeah,
just hit
yeah.
a nap.
You shouldn't have said that. That's what you made it worse by saying. That. You made it worse by talking.
Yeah.
I took a nap. I woke up. I was good. I was
Yeah,
like, all right,
yeah.
yeah, I'm stretching. Like,
Yeah, I mean, I think I had it during school. By the way, we talked about before COVID during school, right? Or
We brushed upon
Was
it.
it you trying to?
yeah. You mentioned. So basically, my last semester of school was when COVID hit, and before that, we were going to hospitals, doing clinicals and stuff like that, going to class. But then once COVID really hit, they shut all that down. So I was home all day, every day, which made it a little harder for school to finish. But I was pretty. That was another thing. I know I'm jumping around now because now it's just coming to
good.
me. You know what I mean? But yeah, that was another fear of mine, was not being able to finish school because of COVID. Because I thought it was gonna prolong it. My classmates, some of my friends that were in there, we were like, yo, what the heck, man? Like, we about to finish school, make money. Now we about to be broke even longer. What the heck, man? Like, you know what I mean? Like, we trying to be professionals. But yeah. So thankfully, it didn't really stop it. We were able to keep going. Actually, it made it better because they had us cut down on certain things we had to do in the hospital, which made the time move faster. You know what I mean?
remember, like at the point, it was like, yo, at this point, they start taking people that even graduate, like seniors.
Yeah.
didn't graduate. They just
Right.
grabbed them 'cause,
Yeah,
like,
they needed people. Yeah,
that's
yeah.
too low.
I don't even know what's going on.
Yeah,
but
you
we
good?
gonna go with it.
I see you guys talking on the side.
Yeah, no, it's like-
Yeah. You good, man? I see he's just in the corner. I haven't heard him say a word.
I'm chilling.
Yeah, you're making me a little nervous.
Tan, how was
you
your
know?
COVID experience? Because I already know how it kind of went down.
Me, what's it called? COVID, what's it called? Like, I was working when COVID hit, and like, what's it called? I just quit, what's it called, my job, because what's it called? Like, the pay was slow, and then like transportation, all that. So
I
what's it
definitely remember
called?
that.
Eventually, I hit up my father, and my father, what's it called? Had me working at his job, and yes. So I was, what's the name? Helping my stepmom cook and stuff like that. And then my father wanted me to go to school instead of just being a job.
Mm-hmm.
So he pulled me over to the side, had me do my financial aid. Now I'm in college.
Mm-hmm.
Now like my mom, she's working at a nursing home,
Mm-hmm.
and all I hear is, oh, it's crazy how he died, this and that. And I was just doing this. oh, she just died, this and that, this and this. And right now, I was scared for her because, like, I want to hear her, feel traumatized for everybody she see or every person she had a connection with or,
And that
she took
becomes
care of.
difficult because I know there was CNAs at my job that left literally because, like, the amount of people that passed away is like they couldn't even bear it. Like, some people that you took care for,
Right.
probably, I don't know how long, just passed away off of one virus.
Yeah, and then as I was being around my father, I hit him up like, oh, what happened to my uncle, this and that. And he was like, oh, you didn't know? He died from COVID. He was just here a week ago. And I was like, that's crazy. I really sat down because, I was really under his, wing. I'll be there every day. I see, his cousins. I don't even remember their names. That's how long it been, when I was talking to him. So that's how COVID really affected me.
All right, so
He must say, what's it called? Like,
I wanted to let you breathe, but you got you.
not to take away from what you were saying. I heard everything you were saying, but I heard what's it called a lot.
But I heard no what you call it more.
I'm working on it.
Yeah. No, you good.
Just let it flow, man.
But like
the whole season.
Yeah.
The whole season.
You pause. You just
bad.
pause, brother. Just
But
let
like-
the pause happen.
But like season 2, I guarantee y'all he not gonna say what's it called at all.
Yeah.
Like,
He probably just
He's gonna move up
get
to
them
Ann.
jitters out. Yeah.
I'll
Yeah.
piggyback off of Tan a little because for me, I was a senior. I was finishing school.
Right.
And then COVID hit. I was still working. I was going to school. So when COVID fully hit, going to online school for me, to be honest, I prefer an in-person thing because with that you better ask questions. Because sometimes waking up at 7 o'clock, going online, you're just gonna sleep.
Right,
You're just
right.
gonna be like, hey, it's not it. I'm gonna do all the classwork, but these lectures, I'm not gonna hear it. So for me, for school, it's kind of, we finished graduation. It was like iffy. We still had a graduation, but it wasn't what we really wanted.
Right.
Couldn't do prom, couldn't do a senior trip, and then for work, I actually got furloughed for a little bit. So when COVID first hit, they kind of let little people go, and I was still working, and then I furloughed and like did all that, but like still going through that, still being home. Like I had to do my birthday for COVID. Like it was annoying. So.
Yeah.
It was one of those things. Like it's nothing
Dang,
you can
took
avoid.
your whole senior experience away.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah, they
Dang.
said,
That's
"Give me
tough,
that."
man.
that's why, like, when COVID hit, I was like, dang, I hit up Cal, I was like, yo, thank God we graduated in 2019.
I graduated 2018.
I'm like, oh,
Just missed it, yeah.
I'm like, we just missed it,
Yeah.
bro. And then K's like, yeah, you right, brother. We lucky.
Yeah.
Like, yo, but
I still had to hear about that.
yeah, we did, we did, but it was like, dang.
Yeah. No, so once around school when COVID hit and I felt like I had COVID, it sucked because I felt like, again, loss of taste, loss of smell. And I would just stay at home. And I'm like, dang, man, because, when you're sick, that's when you want to eat all the favorite foods and stuff like that. That's when all of them, all of a sudden they want to show up and you can't enjoy. So imagine, usually you'll have like a fever or something and it just be a stuffy nose. And once you blow your nose, you could taste a little bit so you could eat.
Yeah.
You can't taste anything at all. You can't smell anything. I'm like frying bacon one day. I can't smell it at all. I can't taste it at all. And then my cousin comes in. He's like, damn, man, that junk smell good as hell. I'm looking at him like, smell what? Like, but, and then it got so bad, I took pickles. I know you guys know pickles. Yeah, but I took pickles. I put it to my nose. I can't smell it. I ate some. I couldn't taste it. I'm like, dang, man, I'm getting scared as heck. You know what I mean? Like, oh, my God, this? But, yeah, it was crazy, man. And then when I would go up to my parents' house, my parents, Haitian parents, they're so paranoid about stuff like that. They're making tea with she
listen, all type of methods that I'm not even sure they're gonna work, man. That's the worst part about
They
it.
think tea heal everything.
Yeah, just make you drink this crazy strong
I got
tea.
an African dad, man. I understand.
Kinda do.
Yeah.
Some of those teas did hit.
Yeah, they work,
like,
but
yo.
it's just like, what is this? Like, what am I
Straight.
drinking? Just make you drink it all the time. As
Straight
soon as you
ginger
walk
tea.
in the house,
Tea,
take off your clothes, get it all. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much my experience about it during that time. Yeah.
So we gonna move on from this COVID topic, and we gonna lining up because some people probably feel like some type of way about COVID still. So you play guitar at church,
Right?
You play for the worship team,
Right.
When did you realize that like that I love music, and when did you know it was time to pick up the guitar? For me personally, I remember when I was at your dad's house and we was playing the game. Quick story. So me and Polo used to play the game a lot. But once Polo picked up his guitar, it was like Polo would be in his room for 3 hours.
That sounds about
then,
right.
Like me and Polo older brother, we played a game. I'm like, Dad, Polo grabbed the guitar again. He's like, yeah, we're not gonna see Polo until tomorrow morning.
Once you play an instrument, it's like you just lose interest in certain stuff.
When you take a liking,
It's
to
not even
it,
really losing interest. It's
It's
more
just
so
like, you gotta
like
get-
it takes up your time.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like you realize like you value the instrument more than the actual thing.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it was random, man. It was so random. It was just, I probably say I was 19 or 20. By the way, I'm 28 now. So around 19 or 20, it was one day I'm just at home and I'm on YouTube just watching a bunch of videos of bands, like rock and roll bands actually, like Guns N' Roses, Led Zeppelin. I don't know if you guys ever heard of those bands. Oh, okay. All right.
If I say you see my face, I'm like, huh.
Oh yeah, yeah. So it was just random. I'm just watching them, and then there was a piano in my room already, a keyboard, and I just got the nerve, or I shouldn't say nerve. The word I'm looking for. The urge, right?
Yeah.
The nerve, like I'm upset, but the urge to just pick up the piano that was in my room and just start fiddling around. So, and before that, when I was younger, my mom used to send me to piano lessons. Every Haitian parent, yeah,
every Haitian parent. You know what I'm saying? They're like,
Every
yo,
Haitian-
they low key want you to have a musical
Yeah,
talent.
they
have
want
the
you to-
keyboard and just in
always
case.
a
They want you to be like
school, so I guess-
Beethoven or something, just
Like-
nice on the piano. They love it. But so I just picked it up, the keyboard, and I just start fiddling around. I'm looking up songs on YouTube to start, easy songs I could, kind of play. And I picked up I think it was like a John Legend song, a Bruno Mars song. And no, but they were
Popping around that time, though. You think about it. It was popping around that time.
Yeah, and I'm just fiddling around on the keyboard, and then I just took a liking to it. This is just music in general, and I'm just trying to get it, and then I went downstairs in the basement of my parents' house, and my father had this very old acoustic guitar, and it never touched. He claims to this day that he was gonna pick it up and start playing. I was like, man, come on, man. It's like when I opened it, the strings were rusty, ready to break. And
Did he try to tell you don't touch it?
yeah, exactly.
the worst
Yeah.
part about it, bro.
He really told. And then, mind you, when I picked it up, the strings were rusty. He had a new pack of strings in there. Surprisingly, I got lucky, and I replaced it myself. And he's like, "Why are you touching my guitar? Why are you playing my?" I'm like, "Man, you didn't even know this was probably here until I picked this up." You know what I mean? But yeah, I just saw it. I picked it up. And mind you, again, I was watching a whole bunch of Guns N' Roses and Led Zeppelin, so I'm watching Slash and Jimmy Page, and I'm like, dang, man, that looks dope. I would really want to try to play that, just like I was trying to play like keyboard songs. So I picked it up and I started watching videos on YouTube, and I just started, practicing. You all right?
Yeah, it was the way he looked like he was about to fall asleep.
It's because he's not saying nothing, man. Y'all gotta include him, man. He's just out in the corner.
I'm engaged.
He
Gotta
gonna
watch
he-
out for you gotta watch out for that one over there.
I'm engaged. Y'all
He
blowing
gonna be
my.
engaged in the next topic. Watch, he gonna buzz up.
Yeah, so I picked it up, And I just started playing, watching videos on YouTube. I switched. This was a right-handed guitar, mind you. So I picked it up and switched the strings.
Fun fact: Polo is left-handed.
Yeah, I'm a left-handed, and everybody's always looking.
It's like you said, right-hand guitar. I'm
Nah,
like,
you already told me.
Yeah. So yeah, and that's the thing. Everybody who sees me play now, they're like, "Oh my God, you're left-handed? That's so weird." Like, you know. But I switched the strings, which made it even more impossible for my dad to touch it.
Yeah.
Right. So he's looking at it, and he's like, "What'd you do to the strings?" I'm like, I flipped the strings because I'm left-handed, so that was the only way I could play. He's like, "Man, switch it back. I'm gonna touch again. I'm gonna touch it." I'm like, I'm not even listening to him at this point. I'm just. So I just took it for myself. Like, yeah, that's my guitar now because this guy, he never touches it. So I'm practicing it, mind you. Acoustic guitar is a little bit harder to play than actual electric guitar because the strings are harder. So you have to press down more, and if it's your first time playing, your fingers are gonna hurt like crazy. So, but you get used to it.
You're ready for that callus.
Yeah, right. So, I was just practicing. Like he said, I would just practice nonstop, and I'm teaching myself, mind you. So it was a little harder, and it took a little bit more time. But I just kept practicing, fiddling around, practicing, looking up songs, trying to learn them, looking up tutorials, and just keep practicing. And then finally, I took a real liking to it to where I bought an electric guitar. And then from there, now it got a little easier because the strings are a little lighter.
And you already got that history of acoustics.
Right. So, and playing those songs. But my thing was, I think my problem was, and sometimes it still is, I'm practicing the same songs over and over. So I'm not really, progressing in that.
That's why I fell out of love.
Yeah. So I had to kind of start challenging myself to, try different songs and different chords so I could try to better my playing. And if at any point you guys want to ask any questions or anything like that, just cut me off.
Besides,
because I don't want to just keep talking and sound like I'm rambling. You know what I mean?
I was about to show
I'm intrigued by the story. I'm intrigued.
Besides those two, you ever play any wind instruments?
No, I never played that yet.
Can I have a conversation about that?
Why you like wind instruments?
I played trumpet for 2 years.
All right,
Oh, okay,
Talk
okay.
about your trumpet. Then.
Okay.
Talk about
Yeah.
I want to talk about the trumpet.
But you never like took
Well,
a serious liking to
When
it?
I was doing the trumpet, I was doing chorus too. So
Right.
it was like doing chorus and then playing a wind instrument.
that
I
was
was
workout, really.
It was more of a too much of a workout.
Oh,
but
okay,
I
okay.
didn't really want to keep doing it.
That's mad. That's
Yeah,
mad.
me,
Voice work.
Yeah.
5th grade, I played the clarinet, and when I got
Man
to
playing the clarinet.
yeah, what's it called? I learned how to play Mary Had a Little Lamb. I was too geek because cause what's it called? Like, our first time in the class, our teacher just left. So what's it called? No one really wanted to focus on their instrument, but we all had clarinets, and then a few of us had flutes. And I'm like, damn, I'm gonna get this done before all of y'all. And I made it a competition, and I got it done. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm that guy.
Yeah.
And then I transferred to OPA, and my teacher was like, oh, now you don't need to play that no more. You got to play bass clarinet. And I'm like, what is this?
Just
That's
kills the whole
that's
thing.
what I do not like. You don't tell me to play a bass clarinet. If I want to
Yeah.
play clarinet, let me play clarinet.
Yeah, so what's it called?
I
I
played
played.
from a fucking trumpet to a freaking trumpet to a trombone.
Yeah, man. If you curse, man, don't try to don't filter out because of me, man.
What's it called? Yeah, so I played the bass clarinet, and I'm like, I look around like, I'm the only one playing this.
Yeah.
I have a special role in this. Then there was a call one of my classmates came in there, what's it called? In the class.
Yeah.
And his name was Dazier. Now he playing another instrument called alto clarinet. I'm like, dang, now my role not special no more because you play something special too.
Yeah.
And now we having a competition. Like, she makes sure we sit right next to each other on every concert.
But that's good though, man, because
Oh, you have
that's
Miss
how you get
Meredith?
better.
Oh yeah, Miss Meredith.
You was in band?
Yeah.
Since what? Oh my
Bro.
God. I did not know you, bro. I'm sorry. Yo.
But no, that's good, man. That's how you get better.
Yeah.
When you going back and forth with somebody because it challenges you at home to. When you practicing, you're like, oh man, I know he's gonna come with some
You know what I'm saying?
craziness.
You,
So
you don't want
wanna-
to come unprepared.
Yeah, so it always makes you want to push for more. So that's how you get better. That's good, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
Never mind, Tam. I remember you. You fell asleep in one of the goddamn concerts.
This guy's always sleeping, man.
No.
Trumpet section
That
was
is
looking
definitely
at
tan appropriate. That's definitely
Whoa. Is this like before the thing start or during the concert?
Nah, it's during the curtains closed for like 2 seconds. You see this man just.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
Yeah, you just sleep everywhere, man.
not everywhere, but I sleep.
Nah, they woke him up.
What's it called? Yeah, it was this one song that I played. I think it was Scorpions. Like, bro, we had a solo part, and like I was like, yeah, it's special. But then, what's it called? The classes come together, and when I played that solo part, everybody played. I don't know, it was the trumpets and the saxophone was playing. I'm like, wow, she lied to me. I thought it was special. You
Oh, you got your big shine.
Yeah, but what's the name? I started playing the instrument when I wanted to focus more on basketball. Even though I didn't play for the team,
Right.
I just love basketball.
Yeah, that's what you love more.
Yeah, and when I stopped playing the instrument, my teacher's like, "Oh, what happened to this and that?" I'm like, I wanted to, but like basketball is what I do, and like straight after school, basketball. I don't care where I go, as long as I play basketball.
Well, I can say something because I played. I started learning piano 11th grade,
Right.
and I was also playing a little basketball. I don't want to say I was really playing. Like I played a little basketball thing, and
June was better at piano than no. June was super nice at basketball. I was like, yo, you play for the team? He like, nah, man, I play piano. I'm like,
Yo, bro. When I was in fifth grade, that's when the school just got a basketball team. Juma didn't do anything. He didn't play basketball, nothing. All he did was music.
Oh, okay.
And then
no, I did theater at that time.
He did acting. He did acting with Mr. Williams. I'm like, yeah, he was a good actor. And then Rel reintroduced me to her. And I'm like, oh crap, where you been at? Yeah, because I was in Orange, she was in East Orange. And then we balled for one day. I'm like, ain't no way. Since when you a ball?
Oh, y'all changed the subject now. I think about. We talking about basketball, but I want to talk about my piano.
Oh, okay.
Get back to that.
Go back to my roots.
Right.
But,
Go ahead, man.
So I started learning, and mind you, I'm behind in school. I'm like behind school. I'm like 2 years behind. So I'm working, and I'm doing piano. I'm doing the little basketball things after school, but piano, like I don't know what the interest came from. I had a teacher that was helping me because at first we had like music. We had like music theory class. You know how that goes. You do music theory, then they show you the keyboard. They make you play little things. I started enjoying it and started breezing through everything. And then she said, "All right." I started even able to help the other workers. So, my music theory teacher introduced us to the piano teacher of the school. And from there, he just throw a little work for me. I remember the first song I practiced was Sakura Japan. It's like some basic like Asian song.
That sounds very complex.
Yeah. It's
probably like the easiest song ever. Yeah.
It was a simpler version.
Like chopsticks.
Yeah. Then I went to like the fact that I'm about to say this wrong and I actually played it. Lergenopedi? Something like what I'm talking about, right?
No. Say it again.
It's called. Let me look it up because that's kind of disrespectful to say that name. I gotta say it properly.
While you're looking that up, I'll talk about. I played music for a little bit. I played trumpet in like 5th grade, and I played drums for the church. But I feel like low key
for MOC.
Yeah. For like,
oh, really? Okay.
You did?
Yeah, I feel like for every Haitian kid, low key playing the drums in the church is something like you have that ambition of playing it.
Right.
I think I got it. He wasn't.
To be honest, I ain't like that spotlight in the church. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Yeah, my friend, like, he was really good at it, like, and he was like, yo, come play with me, and he'll hop off the seat and make me sit down, and when I go off beat, the pastor will look at me like,
all right, man, you can get off now.
I'm like, you got it.
You don't belong here. The song is Lergenopedi. All right, I don't think I said it right.
Yeah.
No, I think I just kind of said it right.
No, I don't think I know that song. Yeah.
If I play, you would know. But I'm not about to do all that.
Pull out the keyboard.
Yeah, I know. You have a keyboard here?
Nah.
Okay.
I ain't gonna lie, I had to look around for a second.
Yeah, I was like, you have
I
a
should have
keyboard?
brought my MIDI controller.
Oh.
Wait, Urban, how was the trumpet though? Cause my
It's not bad.
yeah, cause the band teacher, Mr. Reeves, right? Yeah. Before he left, like, he had a marching band and he needed I forgot what the instrument was, but it's like, you know,
A tuba?
the tuba.
Oh no,
Bro, to
no,
be honest,
that's different.
bro, it was a large instrument that I did not want to carry.
Yeah.
Because it was meant for.
You really gotta have to
It's
have a
meant
love
for
for that
big
instrument.
people
I feel
with
like
big lungs and willing to play that instrument. That's how I
yeah,
feel.
like,
I feel like you have to really like
Yeah.
because you have to, it's a big instrument. Who wants to carry that all the
I-
time they're playing? You know,
Somebody try to let me play tuba. You might as well just let me out the program.
Yeah.
Marching band
Yeah,
immediately.
yes. I'm thinking like, oh, this for the concert? Like, nah, this for marching. Like, march. So how far we marching? Like
Yeah.
the city. I'm like, I'm like, yeah, I'm a studies. I'm a studies. I'm gonna take consideration.
Let's not
to that.
forget what you got to wear. Let's not forget what you got to
Oh,
wear.
yeah, right.
They used to make me play drums in OP85 left, bro. I was like, nah, that's not me.
Oh yeah.
They had me playing drums. I was like, all right, so I'm learning. She like, nah, you gotta start. Like, I
Yeah.
still want to do it no more. And then I came to campus, and me and June had music theory class, and they put him in the piano section. They put me in chorus too. I was like,
You got power.
Oh yeah, I was
Yeah.
I was
I was
like,
like-
I'm like, yo, Rel, what performance you do in class? Like, I do chorus.
You can sing.
yeah.
Yeah.
They had me singing. They had myself June on the keyboard. I was like, all right. yeah.
It seemed like you didn't enjoy yours. I definitely enjoyed my time.
gonna
I ain't-
serenade
Oh
him,
yeah,
bro?
I
That's good,
enjoyed my
man.
time, bro, because
Well, yeah, I did have fun stuff to do.
she want me. The only reason why I stopped doing chorus is because she felt like her class was centered around my whole like academic life. So I'm like, I'm failing. So for example, I would be failing language arts because she want me to go to dress rehearsal for 3 periods. Like what?
Oh.
And then if I tell her, yo, I gotta pick up my grades for language arts, she like, nah, we need you in the concert. So I was like, so by junior year, I was like, I'm not doing this
Yeah,
anymore. She asked me to
nah.
come out, like, I'm done.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
done.
not doing this.
I mean, my chorus is kind of like that, but it's also like you got to be able to do that stuff your own.
Right,
But,
Like, you,
but she
you got to
would
manage
act-
your time.
right.
it's not managing my time when she's actually like, we're learning this stuff in class, and she would come into the class and pick me from the class
Yeah,
and be like, yo,
that happens a lot.
nah, bro, I can't.
You
I-
know
I
you really don't like it
yeah.
if you rather stay in class.
Yeah,
than-
like-
it's like yeah, nah.
I'm like, what? I used to
Cause
love getting
even-
taken out of
even-
class.
Yeah.
Even when I used to do acting, I remember they used to be like, when you know that like you about to leave early, you used to be looking at the rest of the kids like you gotta learn. You gotta learn.
At first it was tough because I was like, hi, I gotta do the test. I just gotta go over here and sing. I don't gotta do that much. And then, yeah, it was just annoying.
Yeah.
The only reason I wanted to be in that class, I forgot why I wanted to be. Oh, yeah.
You know why. You
Yeah,
tryna
I know
act
I
dumb.
wanted to be in the
You
class.
tryna
I know I was.
Let's wrap this up.
No,
Next topic.
I
Next
was
topic.
doing
Next
the
topic.
class. It was like, all right.
You was really the only dude in the class.
Yeah, I was always
One
doing
of the
class,
few
bro.
dudes.
It's
I
about to
wanted-
get a little.
But,
I don't know
continue.
about all that.
So,
Yeah, I mean, so to continue with what I was saying before with the guitar. So when I started practicing on my own, I started to hit like a bit of a wall that I felt like I wasn't really progressing anymore. I wasn't really doing stuff to challenge myself. So that's when the idea in my head jumped to join the worship team at church, because I'm going to church every Sunday, you know what I mean? And I'm seeing these guys play, and I'm like, man, you know, I would love to play with a bunch of people. It would be more fun, and it'd be more challenging as well. And plus, you know, it would just be good to be in that atmosphere too at church. You know, I'm sure you've heard all those great musicians now or in the past, they all started at church. But my goal wasn't or is not to, you know, be like that, be like some great musician who just has a backstory, because it's not really something I look at as a profession that I want to, you know, but it's just something that I enjoy doing, like a passion, you know.
Nice hobby, a wonderful hobby.
Right.
Yeah.
So one day I go, I'm talking to my wife, who was my girl at the time, my girlfriend, and we're talking to each other, and she used to be in the choir at the church, and she's saying, you know, I'm thinking about going back and joining the choir. And I said, oh, yeah, that's interesting, because I'm thinking about joining the worship team. And she's like, oh, you should go ahead and try it. But I'm like the most quiet person, the most nervous person when it comes to stuff like that. You know what I mean? That's not me. But for some reason, I just felt the urge to, go ahead and try it, come out of my shell and try something different. So one day after church, I walk up to a shill, and you guys know a shill, right? He's a saxophone player at the church.
All right, no.
You know him? Yeah. So I just walk up to him and I say, how you doing? My name's Paul. And I know you're the leader of the worship team. I was interested in joining. And he's like, all right, cool. What do you play? I said, I play guitar. He's like, what? Seriously? Like, because we've been looking for a guitar player. I know your cousin, Shamir. My cousin, he's also a guitar player. But he's not there like that because of school. At the time, he was there, actually. But, they were always interested in getting more members to join. And he said, we would love to, if you really want to join, come to rehearsal on Thursday. At first, I was excited until I showed up to rehearsal and I saw how they were playing. I'm like, oh, no, man, I'm going to embarrass myself. These guys are out of my league. I don't know, you guys like BB, Danielle, Nelson, bro. These guys are like talented, musicians. They're really good. And me just coming in, I barely know how to play like that. I'm not that nice, you know what I mean? So I'm nervous. I don't really think I'm going to be as good as that.
Wait. Nelson was there before you?
Yeah, he's been there, man.
I thought it was the other way around.
No,
Nah, he was doing his thing at a younger age, right?
Yeah,
he was doing his
Nelson,
thing.
Brian, yeah, those guys, all of them, they all been playing instruments since they were kids. So they're very, seasoned, basically. They'll never say that, because everybody, humble, being humble about, but from my perspective, I would say, those guys are very, gifted, very talented, they know what they're doing. So when I would go to rehearsal, the first few rehearsals, I was just there to watch because, again, I'm new and they want to see if I'm committed. So they want me to just show up to rehearsal. They see if I'm going to, be there in the long run. So I wasn't playing at all. When I started playing, that's when it got a little, because I don't know if I can remember the first rehearsal. The first rehearsal, they took it easy on me, because they knew I was new. And I was still learning new chords and stuff like that. I'm just trying to challenge myself. Then once I was there for a little while, that's when they started to, push me to try to be, better, especially BB. Yeah, you know that guy. But no, I mean, listen, I can never thank that guy enough because he really pushed me to be better. To this day, he still pushes me. But he would always encourage me, man, practice. You gotta, when you get home, you gotta practice. When you get the songs to play on Sunday, you gotta practice them. Because sometimes I would, practice, but I wouldn't practice intently to play, like kill it on Sunday. You know what I mean? Once I get on Sunday. But he would tell me, you got to practice. You got to know the songs. Because when you get up there on Sunday, you don't want to embarrass yourself. Right. And trust me, I have embarrassed myself on some Sundays, too.
Definitely had embarrassed myself.
Yeah.
Whenever I'm in the concert and I'm hitting the wrong number, I just stop. Because I'm like, it's a concert. No one's going to hear that one person.
Oh,
No. You hear that one person.
Just believe me. You're going to have some people that actually is like really paying attention and they're going to be like, all right, what just happened?
Yeah. And for guitar, it's worse because you're hitting those high notes. Yeah. So everybody's going to look at you.
You by yourself up there. You by yourself up there.
Yeah. So I remember the first time I played up on the stage. Oh, man, I was nervous as ever. And it was a song. It was a Thai tribute song. I can't remember the song. I can't remember the song. Yeah, it was a Thai tribute song, and the electric guitar was going in. And I'm like, dang, man, I got to play that. So I just kept practicing, and I got the hang of it. But, again, I've never played on stage in front of people before. So when I finally got up there and I practiced the song, I'm like, man, I got this. And I get up there, I froze. I'm like, dang, you know what I mean? I played some of the hits, but it wasn't hitting the way it should have.
Yeah.
But at first, when I'm playing it, they all looking like, oh, snap, man, we didn't know you could play it. But it died down quick because then once I started messing up, they're like, oh, yeah. It's like,
He's working on it.
yeah, he's working. Right. But again, man, those guys, I give it up to those guys because they will always push me to do better. Even to this day, they always still pushing me to work hard, keep practicing. It's all about practice. It's all about constantly doing it over and over to get better. I'm always talking, after practice, I'm always on the side talking to Nelson. We always bouncing stuff off each other, how to get better. And he's always telling me what he's doing. I'm always telling him what I'm doing. Sometimes we would practice, just the two of us, we would meet up at the church in the building, and we would practice, just to get better. And it really helped, man, because I've started to see the progression once I joined, Again, BB, this guy, he was always on me, man, to just push myself. I remember one day on Sunday, we're getting ready to perform for service, and he comes in with his piano, with his keyboard on his back. He walks in, and I'm just fiddling around before the first song starts. Mm-hmm. And then he comes in, and he walks up to me, and he's like, "Man, I heard you from the door, and you sound horrible, man. What are you doing?" I was like, "Damn, man, this guy just killed my spirit, man." Like, oh my God. But a lot of people were like, "Oh man, he's mean for that." You know what I mean? But that was his way of pushing me to tell me, you have to, try harder. Because I was, in the moment, I was probably bothered by it, right? I was upset by it. But
I
then,
agree with you on that one, because it's like, hey, having that encouragement is like always being there.
right,
And then like having him like saying all these would always like take your mind off of it.
right.
And being able to do that. So for me, like always having these guys here would always do that. And like if I'm bad or something, like they would always take my mind off that.
Right.
I think, well, you got the final question right now?
Oh yeah. All right. So like I said, if everyone remembers in episode 1, there was a question in episode 1. There was inspirations.
You backtracking?
Yeah. I mean, it's season finale. You know we gotta go from the jump.
If you didn't watch it, you could go ahead and watch it.
Yeah, you go watch it.
I ain't even gonna
But
hold you. If I hit this thing
Where the
one more
bite is
time,
at?
I'm slapping the person next to me.
But yeah. So one of the people I named was Polo.
Uh-huh.
So growing up, the way my living life was, I was basically like probably like 75. That's an arbitrary number. Dang. 75, 77% of my life I was with Polo. So it's just like he's like everything I learned. Like there would be no Kyrell without Polo. That's just how I want to say it. And just explain like why you believe like our relationship was like that.
I think our relationship started like that because around the time, well, my family, my parents used to live very close to his grandmother's house. And basically every summer, I think this was elementary school, high school, every summer they would send me over there, and I would and not even just the summer, just anytime that they had to go to work or anything like that on the weekends or anything, I would spend a lot of time over there with my aunt and my cousin, his mom, Wiglin, and me and my brother, we would spend time over there a lot. And when your mom had you, basically, I was there from when he was born up to, when he started getting older. Then I moved, and he moved. But around that time, when he was growing up, I was always over there. So that's why he was always like hanging around me and my brother. And, whatever we were doing, he was right there watching TV, playing games, whatever. He was right there. And I guess from then he, just looking at us.
Yeah, I gravitated.
You could explain that better than me, 'cause,
Yeah. So, I guess I gravitated more towards Polo because it was just like, all right. Because I kid you not, one thing that I guess we both hate is like the straight comparisons. Like we had straight comparisons, like right back.
Right. Everybody thought he was my little brother.
like
Everybody.
Like Herb came up to me. He was like, "Yo, when we was little and Polo brought you over, I was like, when Polo had this kid."
Yeah, like when it's, yeah.
Were you like telling you something?
Yeah.
But yeah. So it kind of like it was real good for me because it's like I had someone who's already there, who already seen like
It was that brotherly love, you know what I'm saying? Like
that
being
older
able to,
brother figure I didn't have at the time. So it was just like, because I ain't have no pops or nothing like that. So it's like, all right, this is someone I'm looking up to, and he's teaching me the ropes so I can like.
Did you learn?
I did learn.
How you get him? I just have a question. How you get him to listen? Because when we tell him something,
That
he
man
don't
don't
listen, bro.
He doesn't listen to me either.
Okay,
He doesn't listen to me
okay.
either. He don't listen to me.
We're not the only one.
But
Yeah. I think it's just, he likes to do things his own way, which is nothing wrong.
Railway.
Yeah.
Electric.
But
Yeah.
the reason why I I guess the reason why my ego, like, I had a huge ego boost was because of him right here. Like, I kid you not, there was like one day, like, he came over, he brought his GameCube, and he smoked me and everything. I was just like, yo, get this guy out my house. And then, like, I was like, you know what? I'm going to beat him one day. And then I just held on to that. And it just like, all right, as long as I'm holding on to that, I could be better. I could be a better person. So if he had never beat me in those games.
So hold up.
I know who you're talking about, though.
I know what you're talking about, but like, basically you got your stride from being dogged in video games.
Yo, I got my stride because there was this belt that Polo used at. Polo used to be Mario Kart champ. So, like, I was like, dang, I want that belt. So I couldn't look at the belt. I couldn't touch the belt. I couldn't be seen next to the belt. I couldn't think about the belt. So I'm like, all right, let me go buy me a Wii. Let me go start playing the game. So that helped my ego boost a lot. I started, like, my confidence went through the roof. Yeah. Especially after I beat him. After I beat him, I was like, all right, I'm gonna
This guy's trash. How come I'm better than him?
Yeah, I'm better than like, yo,
Yeah.
whoever try to play me, big booty. Bro.
Yeah.
So, guys, like, when you beat the best, it's like, hey, man, who can hold me? Like,
What else out there?
And I took that confidence with me into high school. Like, it was just like, I'm going into high school like, all right, he can't do this better than me. He can't do that better than me. And, like
I mean, I see where you're coming from, like, because that built your confidence in doing everything with that. It's like, hey, I might start here, but now I'm grown and all I'm saying, doing everything because of this one person. I feel.
Because I was real quiet. I didn't like talking to people. I was like outcast. Like I didn't
like me.
Yeah.
Well, no, he's still shy. You're not shy.
He's the reason why I'm not shy. Because like
He not quiet.
Yeah,
Let's wrap this up.
everywhere I go, he was like, yo, is that who's? I'm like, yo, you don't know him.
Like June said, the reason why I'm able to gravitate people around me is largely because of Polo.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rel has this factor he can like to bring people around. We agree with that. We got any final words? Wrapping it up. Any final words?
Okay. That was quick.
Yeah. Yo, time goes fast.
Time goes fast.
I'm not gonna lie. Like, I'm not sure what the timing is, but I feel like these conversations would just like
that. Yeah.
I don't know.
Snap.
It's a
Maybe
whole.
look at the
We've been
time.
through a whole season, bro.
A whole season of this, bro.
Yeah.
But you want to say anything else before?
Yeah, man. Just want to thank y'all for having me, man.
Anytime.
Man, we
Thank
definitely like to return the favor.
Yeah, man. I mean,
hands too, bro.
I'm clapping my hand, man.
I just want to say, I've listened to the other episodes, and I think you guys are doing a great job.
Thank you.
I think you, especially at your age, I don't know if there's. Well, I haven't seen many guys at your age starting a podcast, and do it. So I think it's really great that what you guys are doing. I just want to encourage you guys, keep doing your thing, man. Speak up more. You so quiet, man, and stop saying, what you call something.
I'm working on that.
Thank you guys, especially Kyrell. I'm really shocked. First and foremost, that he even is, because when I listen to episodes, he sounds like the host, like, that's, starting everything off, asking the questions and stuff, and I never knew he would talk like that. You know what I mean? Like his mom was like, "Yep, he has a voice." I was like, "Yeah, I didn't know that," but just want to encourage you, man. Keep doing your thing. Keep trying to do better. You know what I mean?
Hope
Just
that
keep trying to
chest out.
find,
Word.
just keep trying to find what it is out there that's for you. You know what I mean? And just go after it when you find it. And naturally, I feel like you're just gonna go after it because it's something that you want. You know what I mean? So yeah.
I know me.
And for all you guys too, not just him.
Yeah, it was fun having you on the show too.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. Do we have any final words?
Oh,
Last
you gonna
episode?
be back for other season?
Oh, of course, man. If you guys want me, here,
We
man.
We gotta
Sure.
learn about that married life.
Yeah.
yo.
I gotta know about that marriage. Like,
You around me on the episode. That's our ratings gonna go up.
Oh my god.
But thank y'all for tuning in to our first season of Different by Default. We gonna come back season 2. We come back season 2 with something strong.
pay attention to the Instagram page too.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
please.
saying?
Most definitely. And we gotta
Don't forget Spotify.
Yeah, don't forget Spotify, Apple Music, Apple Podcasts,
YouTube.
YouTube. Oh yeah,
YouTube.
YouTube.
stop playing. Oh, you already know.
Okay, you guys are on YouTube, or you going to be on YouTube?
We're going.
We're having everything set up by
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
nice, yeah.
So just until then, y'all already know the logo.
Yeah.
Y'all know the lingo. Stay
Different by default.
Different by default.